Hansi Flick's arrival at Barcelona has brought a fresh tactical approach to the club, blending his vertical tiki-taka style with the team's traditional possession-based play. Flick emphasizes quick, purposeful passing combined with aggressive forward movement, allowing Barcelona to play with a greater intensity and directness. His system focuses on maintaining control while attacking at pace, providing a balance between creativity and discipline. Here's how you can recreate his tactics in FC24. The new Barcelona manager has favored the 4-2-3-1 system, and this is down to the fact that it is so adaptable and fluid when formulating various different formations. On the defensive end, you might see a 4-4-2 or even a 4-1-4-1 formulate when they are trying to aggressively press the opposition. When you are looking to build your attacks, you might see a 2-3 structure or even a 3-back formulate, having the right back tuck in and almost play as that hybrid right-sided centre-back. This will allow the team to successfully generate a 3-2-4-1 attacking structure. As we take a look at the tactics implemented by Hansi Flick, they haven't really altered or changed too much from what they were producing in preseason to what they are currently doing now in their league campaign. So that is why the tactical vision should be set to wing play, as Hansi Flick does prefer his wingers attacking from those wider zones and combining very efficiently and effectively either with the fullbacks, the number 10 or the striker, drawing the opposition out into those wider areas and trying to facilitate a lot of central play by having those spaces exploited from either the deeper lying midfielders or one of the wingers rotating into those middle areas. Barcelona, when out of possession of the ball, have vastly improved since last season. They're looking to be a bit more assertive and a bit more aggressive, looking to try and implement a very successful counter-pressing system. And that is why for the defensive style, I have set this to press after possession loss, but this is mainly aided by the team's width being set to 10 as well as the depth being set to 90. Now you want to try and limit the space between the lines, making it very difficult for the opposition to try and get any players on the ball, as well as you are trying to condense the opposition in their own half. And not only that, with this pressing structure, it is focused mainly in the central area, so you will see the opposition forced out wide, and you will see the centre-backs, the midfield, as well as the striker mainly targeted with the aggressive pressing structure. The offensive system has also adapted and evolved under the likes of Hansi Flick, a vertical tiki-taka some have proclaimed it to be, and that is due to the fact that every pass is vertical, every pass is forward. It's not rotation for the sake of rotating or passing the ball around for the sake of having it. It's about calculated attacking elements going forward, and that is why the build-up play should be set to fast build-up. This will also allow the attacking players to get into their correct positions. You'll see the left fullback will bomb higher up the field, forcing the left winger inside and allowing you to really establish that 3-2-4-1 system and structure. You'll also see here that the chance creation is set to playing as possession, as you are looking to try and keep the ball as much as possible. Yes, you are going to rotate it, but there will be a lot of off-the-ball movements, a lot of forward movements, that with that possession, you can look to successfully go ahead and unlock the opposition. Of course, with this pairing, you will create a lot of transition moments, mainly from those wider areas, whether it's a fullback or a winger attacking that space and being a bit more direct with their play, and that is something that you will see on a consistent basis. The attacking width has definitely increased, set to 75, and this is down to the fact that Yamal or the likes of Rafinha or Ferran Torres, or maybe even the fullbacks, do tend to hug the touchlines a fair amount, looking to try and draw the opposition out into those wider zones and open up a lot more central space for either the number 10, the striker, or even the two deeper lying midfielders to have a lot more space and time on the ball when they are trying to establish that offensive build-up play. With a lot of the attacking play stemmed from those wider areas, it does mean that Hansi Flick does want a lot of players inside the attacking zone, and that is why for players in the box, I have set this to 8. Finally, the corners as well as the free kicks should be set to 4. As we take a look at the individual player roles and instructions, we'll start off at the back with ter Stegen, who will be set to come for crosses as well as play as a sweeper keeper. Of course, with that high line, you are looking for your keeper to be proactive and run off of his line and try and reclaim the ball if it is fired in behind, or if there is going to be a quick transition fired in over the top of your defensive line. But also he's going to be very involved in looking to build the play from the back, looking to play those shorter passes into the centre-backs or the deeper lying midfielders and have them progress the ball higher up the field. Speaking of your two centre-backs in Kubasi as well as Martinez, they have been the mainstays so far due to the fact that Araujo as well as Christensen are injured, and they have a few injury issues nonetheless in the back line. But both of these players will be set to their base set of instructions. You don't need to do too much with them. They're very composed under pressure. They can play the ball through the lines. They can also collect the ball and progress it further forward, looking to lay it off higher up the field, creating aggressive overloads, and that is an element that Hansi Flick does like his side producing on the regular basis. So that does stem from the base of your field in your centre-back line. Now, the role of the two fullbacks has changed quite a lot. The likes of Jules Koundé has definitely affected how Hansi Flick wants his side to play, and that is down to the likes of Koundé being able to play either as a centre-back quite comfortably or either as a fullback. Now, he's deployed him almost as a hybrid fullback / centre-back in this role. So you'll see here for the attacking runs, he will be set to maintaining a balanced role. Now, this will allow him to successfully attack down that right-hand side if the ball is on that right flank area, and this will allow him to generate space for Yamal or even the likes of Rafinha if they are deployed as that right winger. and he will be allowed to successfully attack down that right space. Now you will see the interceptions as well as the defensive position will be set to step up as well as aggressive, as the likes of Hansi does want his fullbacks pressing aggressively hard up the field and being very physical when it comes to attacking the wider players when you are defending the ball, looking to win it back and then progress it higher up the field. Finally, the run type will be set to mix, as you do tend to see the likes of Kunde invert into the midfield, or maybe even just invert and stay closer to the other centre backs, or potentially overlap the likes of the right winger and provide crossing opportunities inside the box. Whereas the left winger will have a lot more attacking opportunities, and we saw during pre-season that Balde was allowed to come back and help formulate that back three system when building their attacks, whereas now he's more so treated as an attacking fullback, allowing him to get high up the field and whip in crosses or attacking opportunities from that left-hand space. So the attacking runs will be set to join the attack, as well as the run type will be set to overlap. And what I've noticed is when the likes of Balde does get forward, whoever is positioned in that left midfield position, they'll be allowed to drift inside and almost play as a secondary number 10. Now, just like with the right-hand side, the left will also be set to aggressive interceptions as well as step up. The midfield pairing of Pedri as well as Casado do have a slightly different role and relationship compared to the pre-season double pivot of Bernal and Casado. Now, both of them will be set to maintaining the cut past ends approach, as you do want them breaking up the play in the central zones and making sure that they are trying to disturb and disrupt the rhythm that the opposition are trying to generate from their midfield. Now, the likes of Pedri will be the ball progressor. You will see he will be set to get forward for the attacking support, helping formulate either a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1 system, getting higher up the field and being very involved in the attacking play on the edge of the box. You will often see the likes of Pedri will play those line-breaking passes further forward, trying to get the attackers involved and maybe even have a bit more of a directness to this attacking play. And then finally, you will see the likes of Pedri being played as that deep line playmaker. Not only will this make him the box-to-box elements in play, but it will make sure that he is involved in that first phase build-up play, being very involved in trying to establish the offensive platform for the rest of the attackers to build up off of. Whereas the likes of Casado will be set to stay back while attacking, and this will help him shield the backline. He will often be the deepest midfield player, looking to try and either recover the ball and then circulate it back into the attacking players, or potentially just being able to limit the transition attacks from the opposition. You'll see here for the positioning freedom, he will be set to stick to position, although I have also seen him be able to successfully drift out wide, but I have left him on stick to position, as he does tend to drift automatically due to the amount of width that you do see in the side. And then finally, for both of your defensive midfielders, they will be set to cover the wing. The right midfielder of Yamal will be set to come back on defense, as he does tend to drop quite deep at times to help support the fullback in those wider zones when they are looking to defend. The likes of the chance creation, however, will be set to maintaining a balanced width, and this will alternate the attacking run patterns between the fullback as well as the right midfielder. You will see the likes of Yamal outside looking to attack from the byline, or potentially drifting inside and combining very efficiently and effectively with the interior players. Just like with the chance creation, the support runs will also be set to maintaining a balanced role, as this will allow him to add a bit more directness to his game, whilst also being able to sufficiently supply himself for the rotational play in the midfield zones, allowing him to make those direct runs in behind, or even coming short and combining very effectively with the number 10, the striker, or even one of the deeper lying midfielders. The interception should be set to normal, and then finally you want Yamal to be set to maintaining a balanced role for the crossing runs. Quite often you will see him whipping in crosses from that right-hand space, but also he does tend to get into the box a fair amount and get on the end of those potential crosses or cutback opportunities. The role of the attacking midfielder hasn't really changed too much. It is a very fluid role, and you do tend to see either the likes of Rafinha or Dani Olmo drifting all over the place, looking to try and lend a hand in aiding the attacking outlet. So for the defensive support, you will see it will be set to maintaining a basic role, as this will help him drop into the deeper zones every now and then, looking to collect the ball in those deeper areas and then drive with it further forward, or potentially stay higher up the field and be a transition attacker. Just like with the defensive support, the support on crosses will also be set to maintaining a balanced crossing run, and this will allow him to either get into the box and attack those potential crosses or cutback moments, or even stay on the edge of the area and try and facilitate for either the striker or one of the wingers inside the box. The positioning freedom is key, and that will be set to maintaining a free roaming role, as you do want him to be able to drift all over the place and successfully combine in the wider areas or even in the central zones, having a nice fluid role and being able to facilitate a lot of the offensive play. Finally, the interceptions will be set to aggressive, as you do want the striker as well as the attacking midfielder to press aggressively, win the ball back, and then create a quick transition moment. Now, what I've noticed with the left midfielder is, whether it's Ferran Torres or even the likes of Rafinha, you will see them entering the interior zones quite a bit, and that is due to the fact that they are trying to vacate that wider zone for the left fullback to attack down that left space. So for the defensive support for Rafinha or Ferran Torres, this role is very fluid between the two of them. You will see it will be set to maintaining a basic defensive support. So the chance creation as well as the support runs will be set to come short as well as free roam, and this will help successfully balance out whether they attack down the left-hand side or attack more centrally in the interior zones, looking to combine very effectively with the striker and mainly the number 10. The interception should be set to normal, and then finally you want the likes of Rafinha or Ferran Torres on the edge of the box, at times whipping in crosses or breaking into the box themselves, just like with the likes of Yamal on the right hand side, and getting on the end of those crosses or cutback opportunities. Finally, onto the role of Lewandowski, and he will be set to maintaining a balance with allowing him to drift into those wider zones, and mainly against Rayo Vallecano, he was quite wide at times, opening up a lot of central space for the likes of Rafinha or potentially Ferran Torres to attack that central zone themselves, but he can also be a figure point up top in the central areas. The attacking runs should be set to maintaining a mixed attack, as this will help him create that physical element, that target player type approach where he can back into the opposition, win the aerial duels, but also successfully allow him to drop between the lines, as well as, bring other players into the play, playing almost as a false 9 attacker. Now, every now and then you will also see the likes of Lewandowski making those direct runs in behind, looking for that longer ball over the top to him, and that is why a mixed attack will definitely aid with recreating this Lewandowski role. The interception should be set to aggressive. As mentioned before, both the attacking midfielder as well as the striker will successfully press the opposition centre-backs or even the goalkeeper, looking to try and hurry up their attacking build-up from the backline areas. And last but not least, the defensive support will be set to come back on defense, as we do tend to see Lewandowski dropping quite deep at times to help facilitate the play in the central areas. And there you go, my dudes. That is how I would successfully go ahead and recreate Hansi Flick's tactics for the start of the La Liga campaign. Of course, there is a slight tweak in variation to several player roles and instructions compared to their pre-season tactics, and if you would like to, I will link it for you guys to go have a look at the end of this video. Anyways, if you don't mind also smashing the like button as well as subscribing, we are almost at 10,000 subs. That would be fantastic if we can hit it ASAP. But also, if you would like to and you're interested in joining up with the Bromb Squad Gaming Discord, where we chat everything football, everything FC25, the link will be down below. You guys can go ahead and check it out for yourselves. Anyways, until the next time, I hope you have a smashing goddamn day, and I'm out of here. Peace.